everybody, Ian here. Well, the news of the Bontofts Sand and Gravel acceptance at Trainfest this year has really helped to focus the mind, because I've got some tweaking and little bits and pieces to do on this layout before November. Then of course we have work to do on this North Cotes, ready for the Gauge O Guild virtual exhibition in 2025. Then there's this, the Bay Platform O-scale micro layout concept that I came up with the other week. Maybe I might want to work on that as well. As for a mystery layout, I wonder what that one's about. Let's have a look at what I've got to do for this layout and what I've got to do to get it ready for Trainfest. As you will know, if you've seen any of the videos of the layout in operation, the tipping mechanism, that's going to need a little bit of work to make it more efficient. And I'm also going to move the location of the tipper. As you can see from this piece of video, the tipper was in front of the second bay from the right as you look at the layout from the front, and I'm going to move it along so that the tipper is here in front of the third bay. So we'll move in a little bit closer and take a look, and I'll explain what I'm planning. Here's the new location of the tipper roughed in. This is where I want it. As you saw from other videos, the tipper was here in front of this bay. I'm moving it one bay along. That means you'll get an ever so slightly longer run towards the tipper, and then there's still enough room for the single wagon to rest after it's been tipped there. So that also could probably mean that I can get a bit more scenic development down here. I hope that because the Land Rover used to rest in this area. Now it can probably move over here. I might have room for a little something else in that area. We will see. But I think the work here is actually going to be quite minimal. As you can see, I've tested out here the sections of fence have just basically swapped over. There was the single section of fence here and the double section of fence in this area. And well, because all the bays were the same size, then everything is just going to simply swap around and fit in. So that's nice. So that is going to be the main thing for this layout for Trainfest. I should, of course, add some more static grass in here, make this a bit longer and a bit more untidy under there. So that's the plan, and so that work will carry on hand in hand with the work on the Gauge O Guild virtual exhibition layout. Today we spent some time cleaning the track, and boy, I was quite surprised at the amount of time and energy I had to expend on cleaning it, for sure. I really thought I'd kept the track really clean during the ballasting and the spraying and everything, and well, I guess I hadn't. But we cleaned everything up. We wired up the fiddle yard cassette just as a proof of concept, and even with a couple of blobs of solder on the ends of the rail to connect the connectivity was passed from the cassette through to the track, and so it works. I've run a train from the fiddle yard into the station and back. Take a look at this. Well, I apologise if you're going to start feeling like you get whiplash as I move between project layouts at the minute, and well, that's just the way I work, so I apologise. We are here working on the on Bontofts Sand right now, and we're trying to come up with a new method of tipping the wagons, because I relied on an automatic actuating rail system previously, and well, that was great when it worked, but it relied on you driving the locomotive in at the right speed and stopping it at the right time, otherwise it would tip over to the side of the bin. So I was looking for a manual system, and this is the first prototype for a shover like this, and you'll just roll the wagon up to the right spot in front of the tipper there, and you will just push the skip bucket over. That's the plan anyway. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll just see if this theory could possibly work. So, well, there might be a bit of promise here. Might have to work on this a bit more. I just wanted to close this week's blog with some words in celebration of the 75th anniversary of Railway Modeller magazine, because, well, 75 years of anything is one heck of an achievement. And I well remember my first issue of Railway Modeller, June 1978. I've been trying to get my newsagents to save me a copy of this every month since March, but they seem to have been messing it up for a couple of months. So June was the first issue that I got, and what an issue it was. Railway of the Month was P.D. Hancock's Craigshire, and well, one of the legendary narrow gauge layouts of British railway modelling, and so a great start. I remember being inspired by a layout or something in every issue and wanting to build something inspired by that. September 1978, John Roxburgh's North Leith, a North British Railway terminus in only 5 feet long. And in that same issue, there was J.M. Oxley's Union Mills in TTN3, net scale I'd never heard of, but this layout was like 4 feet long. These layouts were showing me that you didn't have to have a big table tennis table or a 6 foot by 4 foot board to put under your bed to build an interesting layout. Then, of course, in October of 78 came the most legendary of small layout track plans, Roy C. Link's The Art of Compromise, a GWR branch line terminus model just dripping with atmosphere, all in just 6 square feet. My lifetime's journey of wanting to build small model railway layouts was well set back then. So a few years later, a good friend gave me some bound sets of early railway model. Well, I say early, they were from the early 1970s, and I still am captivated by the July 1973 Railway of the Month, and that was Saint Colline des Champs by Dennis Allendon, scratch-built historic French trains in O-scale. I mean, I'd never heard of such a thing before. So it wasn't, though the modelling was fantastic, it wasn't that really captured me. It was the writing. The writing was very atmospheric, and I never forget the closing words of that article. He created the effect, created this vision in your mind of like being sat beside the railway lines in a trackside cafe there, so sipping on a carafe of French wine. And I remember thinking, oh boy, this is the way to write about model railways. Other magazines have come and gone. The other one when I was growing up was Model Railway Constructor, but that always seemed to be for the highly skilled model engineer types, you know, P4, Scale 4, those guys. Whereas Railway Modeler was always billed as for the average enthusiast. Yeah, what is the average enthusiast? You know, my 20-year-old average enthusiast would probably look at what me as a 60-year-old average enthusiast does and say, that's not average. I mean, well, I do much the same thing when I look at some stuff in the modeler. So the hobby changes and things develop. You know, averages different things to different people, and the modeler always seems to have been able to tread that path along the average modeler path. Junior modelers rub shoulders with the hobby's legends. Layouts built with hand-laid track are alongside layouts built with set track, whether that's Triang Super 4 or Hornby, you know. It makes me wonder, where are those junior modelers from the magazines of the 1970s? Are they still in the hobby? What are they building? Do any of you know any of them? Anyway, yes, there were so many inspirational layouts back then. Bredon, Windlesham Cove, Buckingham, Landy Dreft, Dovey Valley, Allied Marine, Chiltern Green, anything by Ian Footers, you know, all have shaped my attitude to the hobby, and all from the pages of the modeler. So I raise my glass to G.H. Lake, S.C. Pritchard, Cyril Freezer, and every editor of the Railway Modeler up till the current incumbent, Craig Tiley. I thank you all for shaping this great hobby of ours, and cheers. As for you guys, I'll see you next time. Build that model, lay that track, run that train, and above all, have fun.